Hello, good evening, and welcome from St. Louis Park. I'm Bruce Over along with Tom Whitlock, and we're just underway here for the Section 6 4A quarterfinals between the St. Louis Park Orioles and the Washburn Millers. We had some technical difficulties, so we're joining you just about a minute into the game here. St. Louis Park getting 2 baskets in the game, one by Aiden Doherty and one by Kyrie Mayfield. Mayfield just coming back from an injury where he's been out for about 2 weeks, and so his first game back, and we were just, Tom, you and I were talking, he hasn't had a chance to practice. He was going to practice with the team yesterday, but due to the snowstorm, he was unable to get some practice time in.
Yeah, and he's already making an impact on the game. He had a nice pass and then a nice bucket.
And he's fired up. He was excited as the national anthem was ending. He was already running to the bench, ready to get going here. Starting lineups in the game for the St. Louis Park Orioles: Aiden Doherty, Joey Whitlock, Luke Peterson, Kyrie Mayfield, and Anthony Rayson. For the Washburn Millers, it's number 1 Charles Gordon, Charles Cook Gordon, Charles Johnson, Terrell Adams, Jake Garrison, and Gavin Yaris.
I think you'll see some young talent tonight with Washburn. It sounds like they have a very nice 8th grader playing, Emmer Johnson, who we'll see in the game. It'll be important for Washburn to kind of match St. Louis Park's energy to stay in this game. I think St. Louis Park's going to want to create turnovers and run the floor and speed this game up.
Tom, these two teams met on Friday, December 8th. For St. Louis Park, they had played a couple games, but it was the first game of the season for Washburn. St. Louis Park won that game 76-59, but Coach Brian Bucher feels it's a much better Washburn team than which they played last game. And that's a nice play by Charles Johnson.
Yeah, that was a nice job to avoid contact.
Whitlock on the other end missing the 3. The rebound was taken down by Cook Gordon.
I think that's the other thing St. Louis Park needs to get Joey Whitlock going and get him involved early. He had a really active, I think he had 23 points against Chanhassen and was very active. I think once he starts scoring, he gets a little more active defensively. And so we'll have to look for that as this half develops.
And they're able to get him some space to shoot on the last possession, so see if he can get some open shots. Kyrie gets a nice
friendly St. Louis Park roll there.
He's got to make up for some lost time.
He looks like he's engaged and ready to go.
Kyrie's been a fun player to watch for the Orioles, and again, this is single elimination. It's quarterfinals. Whoever loses will not move on. Whoever wins will go on to probably face Wayzata. Kyrie drives in, dishes it off. Oh, I think Doherty had that one-handed.
It looked like he shot that from his hip. It was a nice penetration by Kyrie, and then he just dropped it right in Aiden's lap, it looked like.
Almost looked like his left arm was tied up, so he was able to just fight and get it up with his right arm. There's a 3 put up by Cook Gordon. It's good. 9-7 Orioles lead.
And you see Washburn's fired up.
And we'll get the first foul of the game.
Yeah, you can see Kyrie's gritting his teeth. He's ready to go. I think the other thing, St. Louis Park, now that with the emergence of Rayson and having Rayson and Doherty down low, I think they can have their guards stay out and try to defend the three-point shot a little bit more. And you just saw it on the last possession for Washburn that, just forcing their big men to shoot over the top of our big men, just letting them play straight up.
Deshaun Emerson in the game now for the Orioles, number 20. Kyrie Mayfield shooting 81%, misses the first free throw.
I think the other thing that I've noticed, especially just in the last 3 games, is that when St. Louis Park gets a little energy behind them, sometimes they don't do the little things and execute. So that'll be key for them if they get on rolls to not let the emotion get the best of them.
Good job
and continue to execute.
Sorry, Tom. Good job by Joey to get in the passing lane, get the steal for the Orioles, and Orioles will set up on offense here. Kyrie on the season averaging 18 points per game, 5.9 rebounds and 5.7 assists. So look at how much he's helped the Orioles in all categories. Steps back for the three and hits.
The nice find by cross-court pass by Joey to find Kyrie in the corner there. And I think that's what one thing, Kyrie, if you look at his stats from freshman year all the way to today, I think he's really done a nice job of getting better every year.
A nice basket by Terrell Adams on the other end. Joey cuts down the lane, had that shot blocked. Peterson replacing Rayson in the lineup.
It'd also be nice to see Luke Peterson get a little more involved on the offense. He's a very good three-point shooter, and I think just finding his spots.
Kyrie directing traffic. Now Emerson will take it from up top.
Millers look like they're in a 2-3 zone here. We'll see if that gives St. Louis Park some open threes.
Doherty takes one from outside.
Aiden has done such a nice job. I think that's the other thing that's kind of emerged with Rayson eating up space down low that allows Aiden to come out and
Emerson with the steal, long pass to Doherty, catches up with it. Now a great pass by Whitlock. So Joey with a great pass, and Kyrie Mayfield gets the basket. Great passing by the Orioles.
That was a nice play.
That was a great steal on the end by Deshaun Emerson. He adds so much fire to the team when he comes in with his energy.
Yeah, that was a nice job by Kyrie there to get over the top of the pick and cause the man making the pick to.
You think Kyrie's not happy to be back? He's got 10 points already out of the Orioles' first 16. There's that play again. Watch Joey with how quick he passed that ball to Kyrie.
Yeah, it was kind of one motion, the catch to the pass.
Odens will come into the game now for the Orioles.
And Jacob Houts and Anthony Odens in. I think they see this zone, and they brought Houts in to shoot over it. But now it looks like they're back to a man-to-man.
Almost a steal that time. Smith, rebound, taking down that time number 34, Yaris. Johnson drives in. Kyrie had good defense on it, and I'm going to call Kyrie for the foul.
Yeah, just kind of swung his arm down there.
Short on the three. And they get over the back call on number 12. That's Jake Garrison.
Yeah, it was a nice box out by Kyrie. He had good position.
Rory Purnell will come into the game now for the Millers.
You're also seeing a little bit of St. Louis Park's depth with Odens and Houts, and I think that's the other thing that's kind of emerged as the years gone by.
Nice pass on the break, but Odens unable to handle that.
A good thought by Aiden with the double team coming to hit Odens on the cut there.
That's what the Orioles are doing. They're cutting and passing the ball a lot, so they're looking really good moving the ball offensively in this team.
I think St. Louis Park is at its best when they're moving the ball.
Offensive foul called on the Millers.
You can see just I think that's a sign that St. Louis Park is playing really nice defense, that they're sticking with guys, and guys have to, Washburn's having to do the extra kind of nudge, and they're getting called for it.
4 fouls for the Millers, 1 for the St. Louis Park Orioles. Mayfield trying to get the baseline. Now passes it across. Odin. Back out to Whitlock. Now Houts. They work it around.
That was a little dribbling clinic, I think.
Here's Joey in and out.
Just trying to get warmed up here.
He's a streaky shooter. When he gets hot, he'll start hitting. There's another one. That's the second one that Cook Gordon has been way off the mark on. And I think he's going to take a seat on the bench. Isaac Lotz with him.
Yeah, Isaac Lotz, he's a good three-point shooter as well.
Well, the Orioles will challenge Cook Gordon to shoot that more often if he keeps that up. 16-9, Orioles lead. Doherty gets a little space and hits the shot.
I was just going to say that. He did a nice job of creating space for himself, and that's just a wide open jump shot. Looks like Joey is playing with his wrist. I think he got a nice steal by Rayson. Oh, that's unfortunate. There was a nice steal by Anthony, and he just kind of out of position there.
Coach Breitenbucher trying to understand that one. He thought Rayson actually got the ball first, and it was a really close call there.
I think Purnell just kind of stumbled. He just stumbled into position, I think, and that just caused the charge.
Again, you know, if you're going to foul, you want to see players aggressive, and Anthony was. 3 missed. Mayfield. Here's a chance for the Orioles. Nice pass. Whitlock's back to Doherty. Oh. He got under so far, was still able to get that ball up and draw the foul. Almost looked like the pass was a little bit late and he got under the basket too far, but watch how well the Orioles are just, and how unselfish they are.
He had a little English on that.
Yeah. Good start for Aiden. He's got 8 points in the game. Emerson back in for the Orioles, replacing Whitlock.
Oh, it's good to see Aiden hit a couple free throws right away. Now that the St. Louis Park is coming out with a 1-3-1 press here.
Tom, Aiden and Mayfield have 20 of the Orioles' 20 points. So two guys. Isaac Lotz gets a 3. You mentioned a good 3-point shooter.
Yeah, he actually played summer AAU basketball with Aiden Doherty and Joe Whitlock their freshman years.
Kyrie steps back, hits the 3.
Looks like he's a little excited tonight.
Oh, he's showing some energy, and he's not rusty at all with his shots. His shots are looking good.
Yeah, there was a funny moment in the Chanhassen game. Joe went out with about 10 minutes left in the game with 4 fouls, and Kyrie came from the end of the bench and came up to coach and said he's ready to go in, and coach kept him on the bench.
Kyrie, drive to the basket, he's got it. Boy, they can't stop Kyrie. Maybe they should have rested him a few games.
It's just a good lesson for all kids. Get your rest. You'll be ready to go.
It's a Kyrie Mayfield highlight film in the first half here.
Yeah, it is so fun to watch him play. And I think, you know, just the energy You know, it's so important that kids come ready to compete, and you can tell they're engaged and ready to go. And I think they're, you know, it happened a couple times this year. Before they played Chaska, they lost to Chanhassen. And before they played Cooper, they lost to Benilde. And I think those are games where they were kind of looking ahead. And I know Coach Breitenbucher was telling these guys to take this tournament one game at a time. I know they're excited to be able to play Wayzata again if they get past this game, because that was a double overtime loss, but really a fantastic game, and it would be a great semifinal in sections if that was able to happen again.
Well, and I think when you look at the schedule that St. Louis Park played this season and how tough it was, I think that was the reasoning by Coach Breitenbucher to really have that schedule where you're playing Minnehaha Academy and Hopkins and Wayzata and those teams, because now you're going to have to, you know, play them again possibly, and so you sort of have played them once. You're not intimidated when you go to the court against them. Now they're great teams, and you got to play your best basketball and hit a lot of shots, but St. Louis Park showed against Hopkins. It was a tough first half, but they came on and played them evenly in the second half. So
yeah, and that's something to build on, I think. See, Deshaun Emerson is harassing.
Well, Coach Breitenbucher loves that effort.
And you know, Deshaun is such a great story because, you know, he's come all the way through this program, and he didn't get any playing time last year, and he stuck with it, and he's really having a fantastic year this year, I think. Just his energy he brings, and toughness.
Good shot. Missed, but Charles Johnson doing a good job underneath, getting that rebound on the missed shot by Yaris.
Yeah, I think it's important for Washburn to get these, you know, extra little plays and make the most out of every possession.
Three points in the game for Johnson, averaging 12.3 points per game. Off a race, and so the Millers will have the basketball here, inbounded by Cook Gordon. Long inbound pass, fielded by Adams.
It's just fun to see during that out of bounds play there that Kyrie was really coaching from the floor and letting guys know where they needed to be to defend that.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of condition Kyrie's in after not playing for a few games. Right now he's in good condition, but as the game wears on, we'll see if they have to rest him a little bit.
Yeah, and he's a guy that, you know, typically doesn't see the bench much during a game, so it'll be interesting to see if they try to give him some blows here to build his stamina back.
And for you know, a player like Kyrie, you know, this could be his last game, so he wants to extend the season as much as possible.
Yeah. And for the Millers, I think, you know, they just want to kind of hang around. I mean, this happened last year in the playoffs, I think, when we played Washburn, that they just kind of hung around and made it, you know, we were lucky to get away with a win last year, I think.
10-point game. Jump step by Kyrie. Can get it to go. Doherty rebound and draws the foul. So.
I think it was Anthony Odens, actually, but it was a nice job to stick with it.
Right.
You know, you could see Kyrie trying to find an opening in the defense and get a shot off, and it was actually a very good shot. But that nice fight by Odens to get that rebound and get to the foul line.
Orioles crashing the boards. Odens with a free throw.
There's the rest Kyrie's getting now. Joe Whitlock's back in. And for all you Gopher fans, the head coach of Washburn is Tommy Davis. who I think played for Jim Dutcher.
That name was familiar. And
Yeah.
looking at him, I was thinking, I've seen him before.
I talked to him. They came and scouted when we played Park Center, and I talked to him, and he said he was coming into the program when Randy Brewer and Mark Hall and Cookie Holmes were in the program. So he's seen some big games himself.
3 by Lutz.
Oh, nice rebound by Odens.
Whitlock. Opening for Doherty. Doesn't get to go, but follow-up, not good. Oh, that's a Sean Emerson. Boy, that guy has fire. He plays like he's about 6'3".
It is fun. I mean, those even though he didn't make the shot, those energy plays just help the rest of the team. It brings everybody's energy level up.
We're struggling a little bit from the free throw line.
Peterson returns for the Orioles.
It'll be interesting to see here how St. Louis Park does now that Kyrie's out of the game. I mean, I thought without Kyrie, I thought they played a very a good game against Chanhassen. They kind of fell apart down the stretch, but you know, if you stopped the game with a minute left, you would say that St. Louis Park played a very strong, unselfish game. Looks like St. Louis Park is now in a 2-3 zone.
Cook Gordon, this time he gets some iron on his shot, but couldn't get it to go, so.
Yeah, I think Coach Breitenbucher has probably seen a few of those air ball three-pointers and wants to dare them to take a few more.
This shot, Cook Gordon had it blocked, but a foul on the Orioles. He fouled number 5 on St. Louis Park.
Washburn's done a nice job. They've been getting a lot of offensive rebounds. I think St. Louis Park needs to match that intensity on the defensive boards.
Foul on Aiden Doherty, his first. Cook Gordon still trying to find his rhythm, averaging close to 16 points per game. This is a pair of free throws. Quick play with Doherty. Follow up by Odens. Nice.
Another nice job to stick with it and not get caught watching the game.
Nice penetration on the other end by Adams. He has 6 in the game. Orioles push it up quickly. Whitlock. It's open for the 3 if he takes it. Oh, just, you know, he's not missing by much.
No, he's just gotta keep shooting.
Yep.
That's a nice
Gordon.
shot by Gordon.
30-19, Orioles with the lead. Kyrie Mayfield back in the game. Kyrie, he hit a 3. Kyrie Mayfield with his 4th 3 of the first half.
It's a great time of year at a high school basketball tournament.
Cook Gordon with another big miss. They're not even like hitting the iron or anything. They're just Kyrie Mayfield from 3-point range, 19 of 56 on the season. I tell you, he's 4 for 4 from 3-point range right now. 18 first half points for Kyrie Mayfield.
Well, with a 14-point lead here and 4 minutes to go in the half.
Well, you like the way Doherty, but look at Odens. And it just doesn't get it to go, but what a great effort by Anthony Odens. Probably the best stretch I've seen from Anthony.
Yeah, just very active on the offensive boards. I was saying, you know, with 4 minutes to go here in the half, it's going to be important for.
And we get an offensive foul called on the Millers.
Nice job by Luke Peterson to stand in there and take that charge. But for St. Louis Park to finish this half strong. You got a nice 14-point lead. It would be nice to stretch it out even further.
First foul by Adams. St. Louis Park will be in the bonus. So any more fouls, St. Louis Park will be shooting the 1-and-1. They're going to spread it out a little bit here. Luke Peterson takes it in. Have the shot altered a little bit at the last second. There's a steal by Kyrie. 2-on-1. Kyrie with the pass. Peterson and the foul. But what a great unselfish play by Kyrie. He could have taken it himself, but elected to pass it to Peterson.
Yeah, just active hands on defense. Got the nice deflection and then stuck with it.
Orioles still, only thing that I think they've struggled a little bit is just some of their free throws here in the half, but otherwise they played a great first half. The Orioles put up 80 points in that Chanhassen game, so they were really coming on offensively, and here chance to maybe throw up 40 here in the first half. So.
Yeah, it was, their ball movement was so good against Chanhassen in the first half.
Oh, nice. Great anticipation by Whitlock, and a foul called on Washburn. Whitlock will go to the line.
Well, hopefully this, you know, sometimes for shooters it's, you know, getting to the free throw line and shooting some free throws helps kind of get the stroke in order here. So it was a nice active play for Joey to get that steal.
There you go. Joey averaging 13 points a game. Pair of free throws.
I think the Orioles have done a nice job defensively. I mean, holding Washburn to 19 here. Now they're coming out with a man-to-man press.
Adams. Ooh, little push.
Yeah, you can see St. Louis Park there.
Nice
Good steal by Joe.
Joey has Kyrie. What a move by Kyrie. Oh my goodness.
That's not easy for an announcer to describe that move.
You're exactly right.
Oh, that was a good thought.
Back on the other end. Right,
Good steal
nice
by
move.
Garrison.
Put back is good and a foul. That was Peyton Golden. Golden's picking up his first foul.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. It was a nice job by Aiden to get that rebound there, or tip it out.
Lead cut down to 14. Time Doherty trying to take it along the baseline, sort of ran out of real estate.
There's not a lot of space there.
Important for the Orioles to have a good finish here to the half. They want to give the momentum to Washburn.
You can see there's a lot of, Washburn's been a little frustrated by the level of defense that St. Louis Park is putting on, a lot of kind of waving hands, and a nice job of Joe to come over and help.
And he hits. And he's talking to the bench, and he's going to get a technical. No technical.
No, I think Coach Breitenbuger called a timeout.
But Charles Cook Gordon did say something to the bench after he made that one. So
yeah, I think he's been a little frustrated. So I'm sure getting that 3-point shot helped him. And
watch him turn to the bench here. they may have given him a hard time on some of his misses. So he may have that may have been just see. Like,
yeah,
take
I think the look on his face when they blew the whistle, I think he was thinking the same thing you were thinking,
right?
And that he might have gotten a technical.
Here's the brackets, and we see tonight South is playing at Armstrong. Winner of that game faces Hopkins, who gets the bye. And then Southwest against Wayzata, a game that Wayzata should win. And if St. Louis Park goes on to win this game, they will play at Osseo on March 9th. That's Friday night. And that game will be the second game, I believe. So
I didn't know what
game.
It's a 7 o'clock game. Okay.
Yeah, Hopkins. It looks like Hopkins will have the 5 o'clock game.
Okay. Well, that's nice to give the SLP Wayzata game. Hopefully, it's SLP Wayzata top billing that night. Well, now we talked about finishing this half strong. Now Washburn's gone on a little bit of a run to pull within 11 here, so it's going to be important for St. Louis Park to answer.
Kyrie, nice pass off, and Doherty to finish. So Kyrie getting some assists, he's getting some baskets, and good half between him and Doherty.
Yeah, Doherty, that was a nice finish by Doherty.
Odin's with a nice rebound.
Yeah.
Kyrie looks from behind, takes it all the way up, and he's able to do a gypsy doodle, and Emerson goes down. Looks like he came down on his ankle, and he's hurt.
Oh, good tip by Joe. You could see Coach Davis shaking his head. That's got to be so frustrating for a coach when you see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 guys back, and Kyrie weaves his way through all of them for a layup.
And we see Emerson went down on his ankle.
Maybe if there's a replay of that, it'd be nice to see what happened with his ankle. Yeah, he's an important part of this team.
Let's see if we can catch it here. Right here, let's see where he comes down. Oh, off the back of, was that Odin's?
Odin's foot, yeah. So just rolled his ankle a little bit. Although it doesn't look like they're looking at his ankle.
Right.
So oh, yeah.
This is right into it. Unable to put any pressure on it, so not a good sign.
No. Those ankle injuries are so tough.
Yeah, high ankle sprain sometimes is just as bad as a break if you break your ankle. Sometimes,
right.
They'll get them over to the locker room and transition. Oh, almost a steal. And stepping on the baseline, Cook Gordon.
Yeah, you can see St. Louis Park is giving Cook Gordon a lot of attention. If he's averaging 16 points a game, I think, he struggled a little bit, but it seems like he's getting his shot back, so it's going to be important for St. Louis Park to pay attention to him.
Mayfield. Orioles don't have to be in a hurry here. They have a 15-point lead.
Seen this before from the Orioles that they'll use the clock here.
Kyrie up top with 33.
We'll see if they try to They did this against Chanhassen, and it kind of lulled them to sleep. And Joe actually hit Aiden with a nice pass with about 10 seconds left. So
now Washburn's going to let the Orioles take the last shot. 10 seconds, Kyrie Mayfield. Kyrie penetrates in for the three. Doherty in and out. Peterson just a little late.
They got a foul there.
Let's see.
It was a nice job by Luke to stick with that play.
So right at the end, Peterson was
They
fouled.
got him on the head.
Peyton Golden picking up the foul. So Peterson, with his time runs out, will shoot 2 free throws. 1 for 2 from the line. I always think it's hard when you just go up there and you're shooting and no one's up around you. Although if you saw me shoot free throws, it wouldn't matter. So good half for the St. Louis Park Orioles. They just really showed a lot of energy and ball movement and unselfishness. It just seemed like, Kyrie may have had a lot of points in that first half, but it was also, he was able to pass the ball. You saw plays, someone who didn't score a lot was Joey, but you saw some of the other things that he did. He was able to contribute some assists, be able to steal the ball, and same thing with, some of the other players that were in there that maybe didn't score a lot, but we saw some great play by Anthony Odens in that first half. Deshaun Emerson, who rolled his ankle, came in, gave the Orioles a lot of energy, but most of the scoring came from Kyrie Mayfield and Aiden Doherty in that half.
I think that's exactly right, and I think, to win in the playoffs, you need your main guys to do what they always do, but you need contributions from everybody on the team, and I really do think that Odens and Peterson really provided a lift for these guys to stretch that lead out to 17 points. It'll be interesting to see if Joey Whitlock can get on track in the second half. But I think St. Louis Park probably feels pretty good about themselves going into the half.
How do you think the coach feels? Wondering, talking to him before the game, he said, Kyrie hasn't really played with the team, so it'll be interesting to see how he performs. We did a little walkthrough, so he hasn't really been playing, but he came in with 22 points in the first half and probably looked as good as I've ever seen him play so far this season.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. A lot of people look at Kyrie and they see the points, and they don't see all. I mean, I don't know how many assists he had, but he was probably credited for a lot of Aiden's points, that he would drive and dish to Aiden for easy points. So it's all those other things that are really impressive.
Well, you look at
defensively, he was getting deflections and steals.
And you look at he actually leads the team in rebounds with almost 6 rebounds a game. So, and part of that, he plays a lot of minutes, but when you have a guy who averages 18 points, gets like about 6 rebounds and 6 assists, that's a really important player to any team. So.
Yeah, it's a credit to his conditioning too, because he gets about a minute of rest each game. So to put up stats, especially rebounding, because it's easy for kids to kind of take rebounding off, and for him to have the energy to go get rebounds after everything he does offensively just shows kind of his dedication to the game and to the sport.
All right, Tom, so 17-point halftime lead for the St. Louis Park Orioles. Again, winner of this game advances to the Section 6-4A semifinal game. We'll have more basketball coming up in just a minute.
You're always trying to keep your kids safe, right? What about preventing concussion? Concussion can happen anywhere, on a sports field, at the park, even at home. So you need to know the ABCs. Assess the situation, be alert for signs and symptoms, and contact a healthcare professional. Most kids recover completely, but seek care to help them get better faster. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. Keep kids safe. It's as simple as ABC.
Welcome back here to St. Louis Park. The Section 6-4A quarterfinal game between the Washburn Millers and the Orioles. St. Louis Park with a 44-27 lead. Millers with the basketball to start the second half.
Well, Bruce, I do have an update in Wayzata is leading Minneapolis Southwest 40-33.
So pretty close game.
Yeah.
Cooks Gordon passes up the three. Adams drives in. Doherty. And
that was a nice play.
Whitlock, and he hits the three. So there we go. That's a good sign.
That is a good sign for St. Louis Park. It was interesting. Cook Gordon had an open three. I was surprised that he didn't take it.
You know, the coaching staff at halftime, after seeing some of his threes, may have said, you know, if you have an opportunity to pass it, maybe pass it first.
Yeah.
Hook shot, not good. Rayson with the rebound. Anthony Rayson, didn't play him as much in the first half. He was held scoreless. Kyrie, three in and out.
There was a nice, just a subtle thing on Rayson in that last rebound he got. He did such a nice job of getting that rebound and just pivoting and looking up court right away, looking for a quick outlet pass.
Well, Cooks Gordon that time didn't pass up the shot, hit the three. Rayson, spin move along the baseline, gets to the basket, didn't get it to go. Rebound, not good. Sort of the way Rayson started off the game.
Yeah.
Missing two shots there.
He just had an awkward angle at the hoop there.
I think Rayson has had a couple 20-point games in his last three games, so he's really come on and been impressive. It looked like maybe a travel there, but
boy, his game against Bloomington Kennedy, I think he had 14 points in a row.
You just see his confidence around the basket over the last 4 or 5 games just improved so much. Kyrie, look at that pass across. Joy, the shot, a little long. Rebound, pulled down. Cooks Gordon. Adams drives all the way to the basket. Little too
nice
strong
rebound
on that.
by Doherty.
Got an injured player down. Looks like Cooks Gordon.
Nice pass by Kyrie to a good shovel pass to Peterson, and also his ability to avoid the charge there, because he got that pass and looked up, and there was a Miller standing right in front of him.
Cooks Peterson seems to be walking off his injury. He's going to get replaced in the game by player. That's Josh Rogers, number 23.
You see St. Louis Park trying to get out and run when they can.
Drive to the basket again.
Boy, the Millers are getting to the basket.
Right.
They're having a hard time finishing around the hoop.
And that was a good drive by Charles Johnson. You're right, they've had some good high percentage shots. They just haven't gotten them to fall. So St. Louis Park started the half with a 17-point lead, and that's where they're at right now. Doherty to the basket. Hook shot, not good.
Oh, nice job by Peterson.
Yeah, but now Kyrie to the basket.
Oh, I thought that, yeah.
He'll draw the foul, but that was, if that one went in, I would say this is really Kyrie's thing.
I thought we were watching ice skating at the Winter Olympics there for a second.
Yep, and I think when he gets up in the air like that and goes down, Coach Brighton Bucher takes a deep breath each time. Well, Kyrie missed his first 2 free throws. He's an 81% free throw shooter on the season. 22 points in the first half for Kyrie. 1 for 2 from the line. Well, I think that time a little miscommunication. Yaris did not cut to the basket, and ball thrown out of bounds.
And that was open. That was a good thought. He just didn't make the cut. You can see Coach Davis kind of shaking his head.
Whitlock calling for the basketball.
Yeah, you can see.
Doherty.
It's a nice pivot by Doherty. Good finish. And you think how his game has grown over the years as well. He's got that nice little hook around the hoop, and he just finishes so well.
And he's really avoided foul trouble in the last few games too.
That's important for this team. Boy, what I thought was a sparse crowd is really filled out.
There we go.
Yeah, you can see just that really nice soft touch at the hoop. And he's gotten a lot of shots like that where you'd think they'd be off the backboard. And they're just these little floaters.
I think where St. Louis Park matches up pretty well here is just that Washburn doesn't really have the size that some of the teams they played have, and they do have Yaris, who's 6'7", but aside from that, they just don't have the size. You're seeing St. Louis Park able to crash the boards and have a little better luck inside getting rebounds.
Yeah. You'd like to see as that half goes on, those are such higher percentage shots. That's a nice shot for the big man there. You can see they're trying to harass Kyrie bringing the ball up.
12:41 remaining in regulation. Kyrie sees an opening and he'll draw the foul. Well, they're saying number 4 on Yaris.
Yeah, that was a nice little jump shot that he just had. For a kid, for 6'7", and to shoot a jump shot like that, it's tough to defend. Well, this will be important now. St. Louis Park stretch this out to a nice 21, 22-point lead here. And for St. Louis Park not to continue to play with composure and stretch the lead out further instead of getting sloppy and letting Washburn back into it.
Cook scored, missing the 3.
Yeah, you can see.
Peterson lost the ball. Now Kyrie was able to get it, but he lost it dribbling up the sideline.
Yeah, I think Luke could have dribbled out of that pressure.
Terrell Adams.
Yeah, you can see Cook scored on that last shot. That the minute he put it up, he was looking for the rebound.
Great position by Kyrie Mayfield drawing the foul, and that's going to be called on Purnell, his second foul. 4th team foul already for Washburn. 0 for St. Louis Park. Kyrie, Doherty takes it along.
Oh, there's a nice
side of the lane.
move
Yep.
by
16 in the game for Doherty, and we're going to get another timeout for the Millers. St. Louis Park really playing well in this game. I mean, Washburn is a good basketball team, but St. Louis Park has taken them out of their game plan with playing just with a lot of hustle, doing a great job offensively with players cutting to the basket, leaving openings down the lane, and some good finishes too, as we saw Doherty with a couple nice finishes there.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it, that they're moving the ball, but when they see opportunities, they're taking them, taking advantage of that and getting good shots. I mean, a lot of their recent shots have been all around the hoop. Rayson, Doherty, even Mayfield getting to the hoop, or they're getting fouled. So it's important for St. Louis Park to continue to keep the pressure on Washburn.
The Millers finished 6-6 in their conference. Minneapolis South or North won the conference with a 12-0 record, followed by Minneapolis South at 8-4. Henry and Roosevelt were 7-5, and then Washburn 6-6. The bottom of that conference, Edison and Southwest at 1-11.
That was a nice cross skip pass to Terrell Adams, and he was ready to square it up and ready to finish it.
Peterson spins to the basket, decides he's going to take the shot, doesn't go, kept alive by Doherty, now stolen away. Crooks-Gordon on all the way to the basket, and quick 5 points for the Millers. Millers put pressure on the basketball. Kyrie into the front court.
Looks like the Millers are coming out with a kind of a trapping defense.
Nice pass. Doherty with a nice feed over to Peterson, and Peterson finishes.
That was beautiful. Just exactly how you break a trapping defense like that. Instead of trying to dribble through the traps, to pass out of that.
Adams takes it to the basket. Rayson will pick up the foul. That will be the first foul on the Orioles here in this half. Third foul on Anthony Rayson.
Adams in the line for the Millers.
14 points in the game for Adams. Averages 16 points. He's the leading scorer for the Millers. This is the second. Rayson with the rebound. Kyrie quickly into the front court. Peterson. Oh, long pass to Coach Breitenbucher. Yeah. Joey wanted, would have loved to attempt the three, but that was 3 feet over his head.
That's my favorite, Bob Uecker, just a bit outside. You see, St. Louis Park is doing a nice job of talking. Good job by Peterson to stick in there and take the charge. I think that's something that, I think Coach Breitenbucher has done a really nice job with these kids on their ability to get back and get themselves in position. You can see how excited Luke was to take that charge. I know there was a day when Joey really liked the, nice pass and finish. Pass by Kyrie, but a great finish by Luke Peterson. And to know to cut to the hoop like that.
Couple straight baskets by Peterson on those drive to the basket. Adams, he takes it all the way in strong.
I think that's another, looking ahead, that can get you in trouble, but, they're going to need contributions by everybody.
Nice pass, and Peterson, he's got cleanup duty.
Yeah. And you got to finish those, and he's doing a nice job of finishing those.
And they're exchanging baskets now.
Yeah, see, that's the St. Louis Park. Washburn is getting to the basket.
Kyrie doesn't get it to go, no foul called. Ball on the ground. Peterson almost came up with it.
So you can see
that. Off balance that time. And
good rebound by Joe Whitlock.
Whitlock, long pass. Peterson has Kyrie. There it is. Kyrie basket. And a foul.
Right on that hit, boy, it looks like he feels good. He looked over at last year's JV coach, Arsenio Richardson, or the girls varsity coach, flexed his muscles for him.
Well, and Coach Brighton Bucher wanted a flagrant foul on that one. He thought that was a little rough, but
this is important. You can see this game starting to go back and forth a little bit. St. Louis Park has got a big lead, and they need to play just to stretch that out and not play back and forth. The passing there was really very nice. A good rebound by Joe there, and a good kind of full court pass down to Luke at the end.
Grayson back into the game. Torres coming out with a little bit of a zone here. I think trying to guard the middle of the, so they don't just take it right to the basket, but seems like a lot of the baskets for Washburn have been that penetration right into the basket down the lane.
Yeah. It was interesting earlier in the year. I talked to the Washburn coaches, and I was asking them how the city conference was sizing up for this year. And it sounds like there's a lot of programs in the city that are really thin on basketball players. I can't remember which team it was. I think it was Roosevelt that they said was short players. They had to go find players to play. The city conference used to be kind of the strongest conference in the state. It'd be nice to see more kids playing basketball.
Well, it's hard now as you see so many kids focus on one sport, and where before you used to see so many kids playing different sports, but now with all the programs and the summer programs for basketball. Big foul on Cook Gordon. That's his fourth. Doherty.
I know Coach Wolf would like to see some of these basketball players play football in the fall. And St. Louis Park is just a great high school for kids that want to play three sports. There's really an opportunity to do that. And you'd like to see kids take advantage of that.
Dora's going to be a young team next year, I think. A lot of seniors graduating.
Oh, nice play by
Peterson.
Luke.
Kyrie, nice play.
Yeah, it was interesting during the Chanhassen game that there was a couple points where they had all juniors on the floor. And we haven't seen him tonight, but Keyshawn Howard, Michael's little brother, started as point guard in that game. And I thought you see some of the amazing shots that Kyrie makes. Keyshawn made two just amazing plays in that game and did really well. So those opportunities, even with Kyrie out, it was great learning opportunities for a lot of those juniors to get time at the varsity level.
Tom Cook's Gordon hitting 2 threes in a row. He's heating up a little bit, but he does have 4 fouls. You can see he's saying, just give me the basketball, and I think game's not over yet. 19-point game now.
Yeah, I think Coach Brighton Bucher kind of saw the little momentum shift and wanted to.
I think before that he was like hoping that the game would just stay right around that 20, 25-point game and give some of his players a chance to take a seat on the bench, not risk any injuries. We haven't seen Emerson come back into the game. He did have his ankle taped up, and he's walking on the sideline, but
yeah, that'll be important if St. Louis Park gets by this game to have him against Wayzata. They have 3 really very good guards that all shoot the ball well. I think that if you remember the section game from last year, I think it was we were down 2 at the half, and Wayzata, I think, I don't know how many threes they hit in the second half.
They were on fire.
Yeah, and so it's going to be important that St. Louis Park is able to defend those guards and limit the amount of shots they get. Because I think if you look at the big men between Doherty and Rayson, Wayzata has a few few younger. I think they play a sophomore and a freshman down low. So that's going to be important for our guards to take care of their guards and just let the big men play straight up.
Hopkins, a favorite to win the section. They've been playing good basketball this season.
Yeah, they've only had that one loss, right?
Anthony Davis and Zeke Najee on that team that played well.
Yeah, boy, they really shot the ball well. It didn't seem like they missed in the first half. Yeah, I think the referees got that one wrong. It looked like that was off Kyrie, but it's always nice to see a shot go your way. Looks like St. Louis Park is going in to try to use some clock here. And this will be hard because Cook Gordon will want to be aggressive. If nice backdoor cut.
Oden.
Nice. See, that's the patience of that kind of stall offense, is that the defense kind of gets, it makes them take chances. And so they overplayed, and Anthony Odens did a nice job of recognizing that and cutting backdoor.
We saw Anthony Odens in the first half with a great, he had a great first half. And
yeah, very active. It's a really nice offensive rebounds and putbacks. Now they're coming out with the 1-3-1 press again. And I think, just trying to limit the Millers' ability to drive and penetrate.
And we'll get a foul inside on the Orioles. If it's racing, it'll be number...
That's 4, I think.
4, yeah.
Yeah, he looks like he's a little frustrated. I actually thought the foul might have been on... yeah, he was just kind of sideways.
So we'll see Doherty come into the game. Free throw by Johnson. Johnson's been pretty quiet, averages 12.5 points per game. He has 4 tonight. Kyrie getting a little push from Johnson. All the way to the basket, and Kyrie will go to the free throw line. 19 foul for the Millers, so.
Yeah, you can see Kyrie, he had the edge on Johnson.
Should be 1-1.
Millers are over the limit.
Yeah, Kyrie did a nice job. He had the edge on Johnson and just kind of kept the pressure on him and just attacked the hoop until he was forced to foul.
1 plus the penalty.
So 19 foul. St. Louis Park will be shooting 2 free throws the rest of the game. 31 in the game for Kyrie.
30, wow. A very nice game for Kyrie. They're going to need that kind of game on Friday as well.
And Kyrie's back on a streak on free throws there, hitting his last 5 free throws. Charging, called against Adams. And again, that's just when you're behind, you try and maybe do a little too much. And you see Doherty with great position here. He's had a couple of those that weren't called in that time.
Yeah, Purnell, it was a nice drive for Purnell to get around the defense, and I think that's, where he could have pulled up and shot a little short jump shot instead of trying to get all the way to the basket.
22-point St. Louis Park Oriole lead with 5.5 minutes remaining. to be patient. There's a pass inside.
It was a nice.
We're saying it's Orioles ball.
I think it's a jump ball.
Okay,
and,
so alternate possession goes to the Orioles.
Yeah. I think, you know, that's something that St. Louis Park can take advantage of. It's just Aiden's height. And Kyrie, you know, saw that and threw that pass up high where only Aiden could get it.
Nice pass inside, Whitlock.
Nice pass from Peterson. That was a nice out of bounds play.
I was hoping for the reverse dunk, but he just didn't get up
So
there.
was I. Oh, they're looking to run now.
Whitlock passes it off, and a finish by Doherty.
Looks like he's got
some tape hanging.
Yeah.
Got his finger wrapped up. Nice move, Purnell.
Yeah, I think Adams and Gordon have really been contributing a lot tonight. And for Washburn, I think they need contributions from other guys. So it was nice to see Purnell be able to add to their total.
80-56, Orioles with the lead, tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Garrison, Oriole basketball. Kyrie along the baseline, and he could get called for the charge. Yep,
Yeah,
good call.
that was a really nice job by Purnell to stand in there.
Kyrie doesn't pick up too many charging calls. Normally he's got great control. Goes straight up and a little bit.
Yeah, I think Johnson didn't give him much room to kind of avoid contact there.
Cooks Gordon looking a lot better here in the second half.
He's found the hoop.
6 threes. Kyrie spin move, trying to draw the foul. Odin saves it. Peterson, cross court. Joey is missing. And with the 21-point lead, Cooks Gordon takes it to the hoop, and a foul on the Orioles on the drive. Foul number 5 on St. Louis Park, so it'll be...
they got Odins there with a little push.
Second.
3:25 to go. Adams.
That was a nice defense by Doherty just to stay straight up, and a good hard finish by Adams there.
You can see the great athleticism by Cook Gordon and also Adams.
Yeah, both of them have been working really very hard this half. Oh,
Still. Johnson all the way to the basket.
Charles Johnson.
17-point game. The Orioles played Washburn last time. They had a freshman, Cade Haskins, and he was averaging 11 points per game through the first 11 games of the season as a freshman. Nice passing by Doherty, and he transferred at Christmas time, told the coaches that he was going to transfer and ended up transferring to De La Salle. And De La Salle just had a transfer from Benilde in Battle, who was one of Benilde's best players. And so,
yeah, those kind of well-known programs in the state tend to attract kids. You don't see that very often. Somebody leaving in the middle of the season.
No, you hate to see that.
Yeah. You know, if you like to see these guys start with a team to finish the year out with that team. I think, you know, it's just a little different today. That I think there's a lot of pressure on these kids to perform and be the best they can be, and parents trying to find the right position for their kids.
Against the winner of the Minneapolis Southwestern.
Charles Cook Gordon up to 24 points in the game. Pearl Adams with 20.
Yeah, both seniors, so you can tell they don't want their basketball careers to end.
22 points in the game for Doherty.
22 for Doherty, and Kyrie's at 31, 33.
32 for Kyrie.
32.
Missed his third free throw of the game.
I think even though this is a 20-point game, I think for St. Louis Park to perform in the last 2 minutes here, well, that's 5 for Racing. You know, they kind of crumbled down the stretch against Chanhassen, so it's going to be important to build their confidence to finish a game strong, because Washburn's going to bring pressure here, and it's important that St. Louis Park kind of turn that pressure into easy baskets on the other end.
So Racing leaves the game with 2 points. Six for Johnson.
Boy, St. Louis Park, that's two in a row that they have not boxed out.
16-point game with 2 minutes to go.
Cook Gordon's done a nice job playing with 4 fouls.
Orioles will take time off of the clock. Kyrie, though, he's going to put it up. Just a little strong on that one. Again, an easy basket for Cook Gordon.
I think Coach Brighton-Bucher is frustrated that there were 2 guys there, and Cook Gordon just went right by him.
So now it's a 14-point game, and this is where you know, Coach Brighton-Bucher wants the team to finish strong, and I think was hoping that he'd have an opportunity to put some subs in this game, but he's not going to have that opportunity.
No, it's you could see Coach Brighton-Bucher's frustration that you know, those two offensive rebounds they gave up on the free throws, the not talking on defense and allowing a layup. And I think that's if you're Wayzata, you look at this game and you see how often Washburn was able to get to the basket for layups, and that's something that St. Louis Park will need to shore up here.
Well, Doherty's only picked up 1 foul in the game, so I think he has the luxury to really guard that basket maybe a little bit better on that inside.
Referee's talking to Coach Brighton-Bucher about something.
Possession arrow in favor of the Millers. Orioles have no problem getting it into the front court. Oh, now it's going to be a turnover. And we'll get a charge.
That was nice position by Kyrie. I think is that the 5th on Charles Johnson. Yeah.
So they'll bring 8th grader into the game, Emmett Johnson.
We were hoping to see more of Emmett tonight.
Oh, there's a push. That's a good way to get over and back.
Yeah, I was wondering what happened there. They still seem a little discombobulated, one of my favorite words. But, you know, you can see right here that Kyrie kind of drags his man right into Joey. And you'd like to see a little more spacing there where it allows somebody to bring the ball up without that kind of being harassed. Yeah, you can see Joe's a little frustrated.
Joey with 7 points so far in the game. So approaching the 1 minute mark. Adams drives in and it's going to be Orioles basketball.
That was a nice defense by Doherty there, just to keep him in front of him. Oh yeah, you can see Cook Gordon's foot out of bounds there.
We'll see here if the Millers are going to elect to foul. If not, Orioles will just run the clock out. Now they got the subs ready to come in.
They're letting it go.
I think the Orioles will want to get the subs in and bring some of their players out. Orioles want a timeout.
Yeah, they're trying to get Caleb Misek and Cole Ewald in. Caleb is a senior. Didn't get they tried to get him in against Chanhassen, and they kind of fumbled that game away, so they didn't have an opportunity to bring him in on senior night. So it's nice to see him get in front of all of his classmates.
Player changing numbers there. You may have to help me with this. Is that Tyshawn Lyons?
Yeah, Tyshawn, yeah.
The 9th grader?
Yeah, I think he's related to Kyrie, actually.
Ewald takes
And
it in the
Ewald's
back.
actually been out sick, so it's nice to see him back on the floor, too. Nice pass by Caleb. There's another senior.
Kevin O'Neill.
That's the highlight we were talking about. We got his name wrong in a previous game, so. And he really had a nice game against Chanhassen. I think he had 4 or 6 points.
We just got you cutting out there. We got you back, I think.
Oh. But it's nice to see both Kevin and Caleb in the game.
So down to 10 seconds left, 85-68. Cook Gordon looking for his 29th point of the game.
He's played a really very nice game. I know he didn't get off to the start that he wanted, but boy, he really had a nice second half.
You're right. I mean, and his confidence, he didn't blow his confidence with some of those errant shots that he had in that first half. And had he hit some of those shots, he really could have had a 40-point game. 6 3-pointers, 5 of them coming in the second half. '30th point of the game. Ewald with 8 seconds. Crowd wants him to shoot. I think they're just going to hold it out.
I don't think Coach Frank Bucher would like that.
Right.
Well, a nice game by the Orioles. and I think they'll get the matchup they wanted to face Wayzata again, a team that they lost to in double overtime. So,
big game as we mentioned for Kyrie Mayfield, 32 points coming back after an injury, and he took a couple hard falls on the ground, but was able to still come up and continue to play, and looks like he should be ready for the next one.
Yeah, he really looked. I didn't see any rust on him at all. He came out ready to play. He was showing a lot of energy right away. I mean, and not only the points, but all those other things that we talked about, the deflections, the steals, the assists. He did a lot to get all of his teammates involved.
So not sure if this will be our last one or not here. I know I'm going to be out of town.
You're going to be on a beach somewhere?
I'm out of town up on, I would like to say it's a beach, but it's a frozen one. I'm going to be up at Lake of the Woods on Friday. So instead of being in the swimsuit, I'll be with a couple parkas on. So, but I want to wish St. Louis Park a lot. Like, it's been a great season to cover the Orioles. They've been so much fun, and this group of seniors seems like they've been such a great group to watch over the years. And you have Doherty, Whitlock, and Kyrie, and the rest of the gang.
Luke Peterson, Deshaun. I mean, there's a lot of kids that you didn't see last year that are seniors this year that are playing and contributing. And it's a good message for all those kids out there just to stick with it and continue to play. But it is, a lot of these guys, started playing basketball together when they were in, 4th grade. So it's nice to see them finish this way and get the game they want coming up. So it was a good performance. I know Coach Brian Bucher is probably a little concerned about how they finished and took care of the ball down the stretch there. And they'll have to clean that up on Friday, but
Right, and that's a learning experience. As you continue to learn as the season goes on, this is something they're going to say, okay, we played a really great game against Washburn, but here's the areas that we need to improve on, and those are things that they'll continue to work on, and and hopefully you keep hoping that are we peaking at the right time, and that's what you've asked. And I think there's been a couple different times in the season that the Orioles thought they were there, and then they hit a losing streak, and so again, now everyone seems to be healthy. We got to hope Deshaun Emerson is his ankle's good to go for the next game, and if they are, they really hopefully can put it together against Wayzata, which is I think a team that has been up and down this season. So I think they could be beatable, and St. Louis Park, if they play sort of the way they did tonight, they have a chance. I think.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Wayzata went to state last year, so they got a lot of kids with experience in big games. And if you look back at the game we played against them earlier in the year, I think we had multiple chances to win that game down the stretch, and shots just didn't go down. But I think they should feel really good about their chances of being in a good, close, competitive game, and it's going to be the last, as we say, the last few minutes that can determine it. So,
well, again, we want to, thank everyone for joining us this season. We hope that if you have an opportunity, you'll get out to the semifinal game and root on the St. Louis Park Orioles. That again is Friday night at Osseo. A couple games you get to see Hopkins play probably Armstrong. We don't know if Armstrong did win tonight, but if that goes on schedule, then it'll be Hopkins against Armstrong, and hopefully St. Louis Park Wayzata in the second game. 5 o'clock is the first game, 7 o'clock the second game. Again, I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight, and Tom, you've done such an outstanding job. I hope we get a chance again next year as your son graduates. You have 2 of them down.
Yep, 2 of them down, and now next year I can really say what I want to say. I've really had to hold my tongue here. No, but it's really been a pleasure. I appreciate the invite, and look forward to watching these guys play on Friday. I'll give you text updates.
That would be awesome.
So you'll know where we're at.
That'd be great. So again, final score tonight: the St. Louis Park Orioles 85, Washburn Millers 70. Thanks again for joining us as the St. Louis Park Orioles advance to the semifinals of Section 6 4A. So long.